Oh, hello everyone. Yeah, for those of you who watched our latest video, you know that now we are developing this foundation that we call 5 Points Foundation to help any person with physical disabilities to start playing an instrument. If you haven't watched the video yet, just go to this link here. You can see the watch that we explain what we work on. But if you did, the idea for this video is just to imagine if you were a person that has just one finger. People can say that it's impossible to play an instrument if you just have one finger, because most of guitarists, pianists, they have all fingers to play an instrument. But even if you have one finger, if you're missing 4 fingers in each hand, you can still play thousands of songs. And the reason for this video is to explain, give some tips and show how it works. To be honest, it's just to help you, if you have any kind of physical disabilities, to believe in yourself, and then you can learn anything. You can play any instrument if you want to do. So I'm gonna use this guitar. So this is a classical guitar, and the reason I'm using it instead of an acoustic guitar is just because they are easier to play. So they have nylon strings, they are more soft than the steel strings. So to start playing, I reckon is the best instrument to, if you want to start playing an instrument. So that's the reason why I'm using the classical guitar. And normally the standard guitar tuning is E, A, D, G, B, and E. So that's the standard guitar tuning. But for the sake of this exercise that we are doing today, we're gonna tune the guitar in a different way, just to explain for you that maybe if you don't have the perfect body, you can adapt the instrument for your condition. So this guitar will be tuned in D, G, D, G, B, D. So in that way, if you play an open chord, just using loose strings, you have a G major chord. So you can see, you can listen to that. You don't even need to play or to press any string in any fret, and then you have a major chord, a proper major chord, the G major chord. So you know that the 12-bar blues sequence, you normally use the first chord of the chord progression, the 4th, and the 5th. So in this case, the chords that you're gonna use is G major, C major, and D major. So in that way, if you just have one finger, you can play the loose string will be G major. If you press the 5th fret, then it's C major, and then if you press the 7th fret, it's D major. But you can see that I'm using 2 fingers to play these chords, because I'm using my thumb and my index finger. But even if you're missing your thumb, you can still play like this. Just put a bit more effort, but it's still doable. Or even if you just have the thumb, you can just play like this. So if you're playing a blues sequence, like a really simple one, perfect, but you can see that you can already start playing a song or loads of songs, because most of the blues songs, they have these 3 chord sequence, loads of them you can listen with this 3 chord sequence. So it's infinity possibilities of songs that you can play if you're really into blues. Just tuning a guitar in a different way can make you play thousands of songs, loads of songs, maybe millions of songs, just using one finger. And then you can say, oh, but this will be too boring because it's the same key and then they are the same chords. But believe me, it's not boring. It's really interesting. But even if you think it's too boring, you can use the blues pentatonic scale just with one finger as well. So if you think using as a solo, playing the loose string and just the 3rd fret, and then you have like, loads of licks like G and go to C, or even if you want to play like a standard blues, one finger. So infinity possibilities for you to play. If you're not into blues, you can still play thousands of songs. Instead of playing just 3 chords, now you can use 4 chords. So for this exercise, instead of tuning the last string in D, I'm gonna tune in E. So there will be E, G, D, G, B, D. Now, if you play the loose strings just from the 5th string, then you have G major, right? But if you play all strings as a loose string chord, as an open chord, then you have E minor 7th. So G major, E minor 7th. So now we can think about just 4 chords, a 4 chords progression. So G major, E minor 7, C, and D. Just remember that when you were playing a bar chord, the C and G, you just play from the 5th string as well. Don't use the 6th string. So I don't know if you know anything about the 4 chord songs, but there is a really funny video. I'm gonna put the link for the video in the description. It's a band called Axis of Awesome, and they made a video showing that to have a hit, to have a #1 hit, you need to write a 4 chord song. And then what's a 4 chord song? Is exactly when you use the first chord of the chord progression, the 6th, the minor 6th, 4th and 5th. So they show loads of examples of different kind of songs that they just use the same chords, they change the melodies, but they use the same chords. So that means that if you have this condition that you just have one finger, you can still play thousands of songs. You can just go to the list and then see the songs that you like the most. I'm gonna play just some examples here for you to understand that you can have loads of possibilities if you have this condition. And also, the first example was about blues songs. Now, if you're more into reggae, you can play using this sequence: G, D, E minor, C, and then there is a song. No woman no cry. No woman no cry. No woman no cry. No woman no cry. Or, well, you done me in the back, I felt it. I tried to beat you, but you're so hard that I melted. I felt right through the cracks, and now I'm trying to get back. Or even rock songs as well. So every breath that you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I've been watching you. This was a different sequence: G, E minor, C and D. Or with or without you, with or without you, I can live. With or without you. The guitar went out of tune a bit, but just for the sake of this exercise, now I can make a set list with thousands of different songs just using these 4 chord progressions, or even the blues, the 12 bar blues. And if you have just one finger, you can still play these chords. You just need to tune the guitar in a different way, adapt the guitar for your conditions, start playing music. Because that's, to be honest, is the whole idea we are creating, we're trying to develop this course, the 5 Points Foundation, to help people with different conditions to start playing music. So I know that maybe your disability is that you don't have your hand, but there are ways to play a guitar or a piano if you're missing fingers. And what we are trying to do is just to try to cover some topics. And please let us know what's your condition, what's your physical condition, if you have any, or your sons or your students, because we'd like to give you some tips. How can you make it possible for you to play an instrument if you have these physical disabilities or conditions or anything like that. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, please subscribe to our channel as well, and then if you can, please share this video, because the most people see it, the better to reach people that want to start playing music but they think they are not capable of. So please do it, share that, and I see you soon.